Hello, it's Carly Jo and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk all about the best ways to become more efficient and better with time management as a makeup artist, because that is a very important characteristic to have. Now, keep in mind that you're not going to go from a 90-minute application to 30 minutes overnight. It takes a ton of practice, which I will talk about here in a minute. So I recommend taking whatever tips you find helpful in this video and, just having a girls' day with your friends or your family. Just gather your friends and, practice all these tips and just kind of do a mock bridal party in a way. First step is to analyze your kit and how you have it organized or lack thereof. Maybe you have a bunch of random products just going around and you have to shuffle through to find the one that you need. Maybe you have 20 bullet lipsticks rolling around and you need to, look at the label for every single one to know which shade you're taking. So before each wedding, make sure that your kit is organized. It doesn't have to be perfect, but a clean, organized kit is kind of like the face of your business, right? Obviously, you are the face of your business, but when a client sees an organized and clean kit, they're gonna notice. So make sure that your foundations are in one place, your eye products are in another, your lips are in another. Now, something that I recommend to organize your kit is to depot. I can make an entirely separate video about this. Let me know if that's something you guys would like to see in the comments. But with depotting, not only are you going to have a more organized and clean kit, but you're going to condense it. So you're gonna make it smaller. So it's going to save you space in your kit. It's going to save you space when you are setting up, so you don't need as much table space. But it's also going to save your back, it's inevitably gonna happen. Your back pain, it's not going to hurt as much in the future. And I say as much, like I said, it's inevitable. Your back is gonna hurt. But for example, I have my powders and liquid foundations condensed in these little, I think these are 10 or 15 milliliter pop tops. And then I have my lipsticks depotted into a 24 PMU set. These hold full-size bullet lipsticks. So again, instead of having 20 of them rolling around, I have them all in the palm of my hand right here, and I just label them, which is another thing I'm going to talk about here in a minute. And then empty makeup palettes. This is a Z palette. You can get the ones from Makeup Forever. You can get Cosette palettes. There are so many empty palettes on the market. I just happen to have this one, and it has some eyeshadows and some eyebrow powders as well. Now, labeling is going to be your best friend, especially if you do plan on depotting. Like, I would never know if this is a Face Atelier foundation if I didn't take the sticker that came onto the foundation bottle and put it on the top. So I recommend labeling, just taking whatever sticker or label that is on the foundation or product and just putting it onto whatever container you depotted the product in. But you can also buy a label maker and make your own labels. I have all of my lipsticks labeled on the back of my view set, so if I do need to find a color, I can just look on the back and know exactly which brand and shade name it is. And even if you don't depot, labeling still helps. I have these palettes right here. I would not know which palette is which if I didn't have the labels on there. Plus, 2 of them are actually Ben Nye, and then these other ones are Viseart. 3 of these are blush palettes. One of them is an eyeshadow palette, and these are 2 face palettes. So having them labeled on the top helps me know exactly which palette I need to go for. Now, I don't have any on me because my brushes are currently drying, but having separate brush sets for each client. Not only are you going to be more sanitary, because spot cleaning brushes in between clients isn't truly the best and most efficient way to clean your brushes for our clients, but you're not going to be spending that 5-10 minutes in between spot cleaning those brushes. And along with separate brush sets, having a separate palette to work off of instead of, cleaning off that same metal palette. Now, I personally just use a paper plate. It's one less thing to worry about. I just toss it. I don't have to worry about cleaning it right then and there or take the time to clean it at home. When it comes to the number of sets that I bring, I always bring 1 more than I need. So if I am doing 5 people, I always bring 6, just in case if I happen to be able to squeeze in another person. Maybe someone needs touch-ups and I don't want to use dirty brushes. And I do bring a Ziploc or a grocery bag to put all of the dirty brushes in. They do not get touched until I go home to clean them. Now, something that I find helpful is making a timeline for everyone and showing exactly how long it takes to do a certain makeup application, what time I'm arriving, what time touch-ups start, what time I leave, and things like that. Now, you want to make sure that if you are creating a timeline for a wedding, that whoever you're giving that timeline to relays that timeline to everyone else who's receiving services. And put somewhere on there that they need to be at the location 10 to 15 minutes before their appointment even starts. There are instances where people do arrive just at the time where their appointment starts, but they need to go to the bathroom and they need to get changed and they need to get a drink and they, need to eat something real quick. So make sure that they have time to settle in, get comfortable, get their PJs on, whatever they need to do before they sit in your chair. And that brings me to my next point. If your client does plan on providing PJs for everyone to wear for getting ready photos, make sure that they provide them either the night before or that morning when they arrive. That way they can change into them before you start their makeup application. Something else you can do is ask for inspiration photos the week of the wedding versus just asking them during the consultation. It's just easier because people aren't going to be scrolling through their photos or their Pinterest or their Google search to try to find the photo that they have in mind for their makeup. Instead, you have it pulled up on your phone right away and you can already start asking questions about that photo. Whatever table space you are setting up on, make sure it's on your dominant side. And if you don't carry a chair and table, I highly recommend that you do, especially as wedding makeup artists. Most of the time, we don't know what kind of place we are getting ourselves into in terms of the setup, and it's just easier to be prepared in case you don't have any table space or there's no high chairs to have your client sit in. But setting up on your dominant side is going to be way easier. For example, I'm a lefty, so I always set up my table on my left side and then my chair right in front of me. So I can just kind of go right here, I can do whatever I need to do, and then go to my client straight forward. If I were to set up on my right side, I'd have to completely turn my body, and any little movement you make can eat away at times that you could be doing makeup. So the more time you can take away from grabbing a product or moving, doing whatever, not doing makeup, is best. Next is to have products easily accessible, especially the products that you tend to use the most. That's why I love those Relevel bags. I'll put my kit on the screen, a picture of it. I have the extra large of the backpack, I think. I'll put a link to the bag I have down below, but I love them because everything is easily accessible. Once you open your kit, everything is taken care of. You don't have to worry about pulling out drawers or setting anything up, taking anything out of any plastic containers, whatever it is. It's all organized, it's all accessible for you. Now, remember when I said that the time going back and forth in any movement that you're not doing that is not makeup can take away from the time that you are doing makeup? Something that I recommend doing to lessen that time of going back and forth is, after you've done the consultation, you've talked about the client's skin type, maybe they're dry, oily, whatever they are. When you're getting their moisturizer or their skincare, get all the products all at once. So don't just get the moisturizer, put it on the client, then go back and get the eye cream, and then put it on the client, and then go back and get the eye patches. Get it all at once. That way you're there, and then you don't have to worry about that back and forth, and you can put all the products on the client at one time and not do that back and forth. Now you can also do that with your makeup products, anything that you're working off of a palette at least, but I do recommend doing any sort of foundation matching first beforehand. That way you have the foundation on, you have a good idea of what products you need and what shades, what colors, undertones you need in order to complete the makeup application. So I recommend if you're gonna do that, do the foundation first and then get whatever concealer, bronzer, contour, blush, whatever it is that you need to. So anyone who knows me personally knows that I talk a lot. And this next point is probably going to come as a shocker to those people and be like, come on, Carly, like really? Come on, we know you. But don't talk a lot during your application. Now, even though I also talk during applications, I have learned to efficiently work and talk at the same time. There are some times where I do pull away because I do talk with my hands. And if I'm doing your eyeliner and I'm trying to describe something, I'm not going to try to do that while having an eyeliner brush near your eye. So either learn how to efficiently talk and work at the same time, or just let your client know that talking needs to be kept to a minimum so we can stay on track, things like that. I know that it might be weird to tell people like, hey, by the way, talking is to be kept to a minimum. I'm like, you're back at school or something. But if you know that you can't talk and work at the same time, every time you talk, you stop, that needs to be, taken care of. It needs to be assessed. That way you can get the job done efficiently. Staying on the train of feeling like we're in school, but tell the client that phone usage should be at a minimum during the makeup application. The only times I find where my client has their phone out and it's not keeping me from doing my job efficiently is when I have them present an inspiration photo to me, or that's pretty much it. Even if you're doing their face, your instinct when you're looking at your phone is to look down, and even if they try to hold it up here, you're still trying to work around them, and it just makes it a lot more difficult. So let your client know that phone usage is to be kept at a minimum, to really only when they need to show you an inspiration photo, or if it's an emergency, if they have a phone call they need to take, they can do it on speakerphone, or they should excuse themselves, you know, putting the phone up to your ear while you're trying to do their eyeshadow or their blush or whatever it is. It's gonna be pretty hard. Now, I feel like this next one has some mixed opinions on it. So if you're a pro makeup artist, I wanna hear your opinion on this one down below and what you have found easiest for you. But me personally, I don't provide the mirror during makeup applications. As a new makeup artist, it can feel very intimidating when you turn your back to grab whatever makeup product and your client immediately just goes. And I know that it doesn't feel encouraging when you're trying to do their makeup, but they do have that mirror this close to their face, and they're trying to, for lack of a better term, nitpick at little details that you're going to finish later or you haven't gotten into yet. And again, that conversation and that talk can hinder your application and cause you to run behind. So in my experience of both not providing a mirror and providing a mirror for the entire application, I have found it way easier to just provide the mirror at the very end. When clients are given that mirror, the process of a pro makeup artist makeup application to just an everyday makeup application of someone who isn't a professional, it can be vastly different, especially if they've never gotten their makeup done before or they don't wear a lot of makeup. And that's something, if you're a client, to keep in mind. You're going to look crazy 97% of the time you're getting your makeup done, which is one of the reasons why your makeup artist probably is not giving you a mirror. Take payment before the wedding day. Whether you take the payment 24, 48 hours, 72 hours in advance, 2 weeks, 1 month before the wedding, whatever it is, taking payment before the wedding day saves so much stress. This will save your clients so much stress because the last thing they want to worry about is trying to write you a check before they have to walk out the door and go to their ceremony. Maybe you have a card reader, but your card reader happens to not work that day, or maybe your client dips out and doesn't pay. So it's really important to take payment in advance. That way, there's nothing for them to worry about. Your job is to do what you're being paid to do, which is show up and do makeup. So those are all the tips that I have to be more efficient and be better with time management as a makeup artist. Remember that going again from that 90-minute application to something like 45 or 30 minutes, it's not going to happen overnight. It takes practice. Like I said before, make it fun. Grab your friends, grab your family, have some champagne and cater some food to make it more of like a mock wedding party. That way you can truly practice your makeup application and be better and efficient when it comes to your time management. If you're a pro makeup artist and you have time management tips that help you become more efficient at your job, go ahead and comment them down below. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.